A recent trove was uncovered. This one was big, perhaps the Archon's visitation chambers. And a flood of tomes is on the market. Even simple fences know something is amiss. They've raised their prices at the frenzy of collectors. One said he sold a copy of the Fell Grimoire. I doubt he would lie. How could he know that tome is a mere legend? If that is real, then what of the Forgotten Ones? This journey has taken us to many strange places, and made us re-evaluate many former truths. Where will it end? It is well known that the veil is thin in Kirkwall, a small wonder given the suffering in the city, but we've discovered the Magisters were deliberately thinning it even further. Beneath the city, demons can contact even normal men. Did they seek the Black City to compound the madness of their previous efforts? Or was it something else? Did they seek the Black City to compound the madness of their previous efforts? We've found a chamber where the veil is at its thinnest, long since looted, but the power is still there. Tonight we will go there. Pray for us. Pray for us all. Hidden behind a rock with curious markings and signed the Band of Three. Hello, and welcome to the 17th session of Victory, Vigilance, and Sacrifice. This tabletop role-playing game uses the Dragon Age video game setting developed by BioWare, and the officially licensed tabletop role-playing game published by Green Ronin. Thanks also to Incompetech, aka Kevin MacLeod, for creating the wonderful music you hear tonight. Incompetech can be found through the Roll20 app, which we will also be using. As a content note, the Dragon Age setting is not a nice place. Content warnings persist across this chronicle for war violence, sickness, undead, and terrible choices made in terrible circumstances. We employ the X card for player safety. And so, tonight, join us in telling a story of the Fourth Blight. First, Wardens. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what your warden is all about.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve, pronouns are he, him, and today I am playing Jurgen, the Tranquil, who is a former circle mage, who's also he, him. He doesn't have a lot to say. When he says things, he hopes it's meaning.
That's our hype man. Hello one and all, I am Devin. You can find me online at Sword of Sullied, and tonight I am playing Garrick, our Warden Commander, who's now in charge of all these people, and all he wants to do is run into the fray.
Hi everybody, I'm Ben Ravensdale. I'm going to be playing Raylaf, the apostate elf turned Grey Warden. And I think this is also a perfect way to segue into the recap, since I'll be the one reading it tonight.
Well, I would like to introduce myself.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I thought you did that. I apologize. I thought you did that during your initial bit.
Oh no, that's fine. I am your game runner. My name is Rachel. I am she, her. You can find me at Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet, including the Burning Bird app and all competitors thereof, except for Blue Sky. Please send me a Blue Sky invitation. I want one so bad. Anyway, you can also find me and previous episodes of this show on YouTube, where we would love your likes and subscribes on our trek to 1,000 subscribers, because that's when we get to monetize. We'd also appreciate your subscription to this channel, but unlike Twitch, subscribing on YouTube is free. We are also down a Brody. He officiated a wedding in Mexico, and he's on his way back, which is exciting, but that means we don't get him. So, since we don't have a Brody, I believe Ben volunteered to read the recap?
I did.
Okay, now you may read.
A little bit overzealous, I suppose.
That's fine.
So, the recap for episode 16. Debating the group's finances, we decided to let Harrell bargain the value of our excess silverite procured from the Kirkwall mines. Being Harrell, he flirted his way into a good deal, and possibly a Templar's pants. Specifically, Harrell attracted the amorous attentions of Sir Halvard, Knight Captain Otto's second-in-command. From there, we went to the fortress in the Vinmark Mountains for the renewal of the seals with our entire bloody entourage. Kennard only comes with his tranquil, the rest come willingly for their pay. While journeying, Raylath helped Petra learn how to fight, at least the basics. While heading down the path, we discovered that Darkspawn had been through the area and caused the woods thereabouts to start dying. With this in mind, we sent Harold out to scout ahead, and in his unfocused fashion, he crashed into a glade surrounded by 6 Darkspawn. Using his elven speed, he bolted away from the 5 Genlocks and their Genlock Alpha, squeaking in horror, it's important to note, and runs back, shouting that he found them. Raylath prepped the telekinetic weapons spell for everybody to bolster our damage with his magic. Harold encouraged us to be more accurate with his songs. Jurgen gathered his mud, and Garrick stood in the open preparing to defend himself. Harold began the fight, backstabbing a Genlock before hiding behind Garrick, who ran up to the Alpha, slashing him with his bastard sword. With a light counter-attack from the Genlocks, Jurgen was hurt, before Raylath's arcane lances the Genlock Harold hurt earlier to finish it off. Harold decided it's time to take the lead and begins attacking Alpha as well, quietly cutting him before once again hiding behind Garrick's oncoming bastard sword. Harold is very, very thin to be able to hide behind a sword, but Raylath cast a spell to knock down all the Genlocks, or at least a good portion of them, and Jurgen, having healed himself, ran into the fray, nearly breaking the jaw of the nearest Darkspawn. Both Harold and Garrick attempted to finish off the Alpha, with no success, only for the Alpha to rally the Genlocks into fervor to try and kill us. Raylath once more knocked down all the Genlocks, but also took out Garrick in the process. This gave Pietra the chance to slide her blade into the Alpha. Jurgen then reached into his bag and pulled out a grenade, deciding the Alpha had gone on long enough, and blew him to bits. With only the underlings remaining, Harold removed another Genlock from combat. Garrick remembered to stand up, and Raylath and Jurgen continued trying to slaughter the remaining Genlocks. Jurgen rushed the next round, crushing one of the Genlocks with his fancy metal-coated stick, with Harold polishing him off. Garrick ran over and axes another one a question, specifically, where does it want to be buried? Harold calls in his own brand of airborne assault, jumping on Garrick's shoulders before stabbing his blade down into the final Darkspawn. Breaking through the tree line, we were greeted by a tall, imposing stone tower built into the mountains in a sheer cliffside. With our Grey Warden senses, we feel plenty of Darkspawn inside, including one that is as powerful as an Archdemon.
All right, thank you for reading the recap, and thank you, Devin, for taking notes. And so, with that out of the way, we begin. You have managed to put an end to a remarkable amount of Darkspawn. And so, just as a little bit of a reminder, this is a tremendously big fortress, and you are entering into what you would think of as the ground level. And the people who created this fortress prison, what they do, or what they did is they have carved this into the rock itself. And so they've carved it directly into a cliff. And so while you enter the fortress, you will be going down, deeper into the earth. I suppose the best question to ask right now is any sort of prep work or wrap-up work that any of you would like to do before traveling down.
Does anybody need to be healed?
I currently have 5 damage, but I can heal myself.
No, because I think I was given mud last week. So I'm good.
Okay. In that case, for the moment, I don't have anything that I'm going to prep just because all my stuff is relatively short duration and kind of need to cast it in the moment. So yeah.
was gonna say, Rachel, with my healing rolls, the only thing is in combat, I can't heal someone 2 turns in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the only limitation on it. So other than that, outside of combat, can I just heal myself 5 damage real quick with mud?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
You have the
I
best mud
imagine that the healing rule is meant to simulate the cooldown in the video game.
That seems right. Well,
And
I
like
mean,
once,
but I can do it to someone else.
yeah, but like also like once you leave combat, you start healing anyway in the video game. Like
Right.
unless you're playing on like nightmare difficulty, and this is not set on nightmare difficulty.
Gotcha.
If that's the case, can you also heal my 6 points of damage that I have?
Maker, are you against me healing other members of the party with the same logic?
Yeah, no, to borrow from another RPG, everyone can take a short rest and refresh their health points.
Alright, everyone come get a handful of mud.
That's some good mud. We're supposed to eat it, right?
Yes.
Good. Just like being a kid.
Jurgen's mud pies.
Delicious mud pies, yes.
As a slight aside, when I was living in Escondido, I managed to stumble across this really awesome deli run by a retired New Jersey parole officer, and he made a soup every day called Escondido Mud. It was delicious. When that place closed down, my wife and I were so sad.
So I thought you were going to mention the Yellow Deli, and I could talk about how much of a cult it is.
I was going to say, as an adult, we drink mud now. Coffee.
I don't know where you're buying your beans from, sir.
You might need to wash out your coffee maker.
It's the free stuff I get from work.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
We buy Dunkin' coffee. Anyway.
I mean, tea is kind of dirt water.
No, it's hot leaf juice.
Who here has watched Ted Lasso? It's dirt water.
So anyway, you rub some dirt on it. You can all refresh your health points by however much Steve allows you to, or Jurgen allows you to.
I was about to be a jerk and be like, bro, you can only heal 5.
I mean,
No. It's
not gonna stop you.
everyone, given enough time, Jurgen can heal everyone up to full without using any resources.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, because you're not on... I mean, you are on a time crunch, but not that desperate a time crunch.
Gotcha. Oh, excuse me. Pa, 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 pa. Alright.
No.
Other than that, I think I'm good.
I'm pretty sure I'm good to run into the fray. I don't get much prep besides hammer, hammer, hammer.
Okay. Alright. So, you descend down to the second floor. Do any of you have warden lore? Or history, or anything having to do with that?
Only arcane lore.
Military lore and engineering.
Go ahead and give me military lore. Only this will be at 15 instead of 13.
Okay. Remember to grab my dice. Alright. Well, one of them went away, but that's 9 plus 4 is 13. So let's see, what's that last one? And that's a 4. Yeah, that's 17.
Okay. So you descend into this almost maze-like second level, and you notice a couple things. For one, the Grey Warden emblem, the griffin with the chalice, is everywhere. But you also notice that there are in some places almost like a personal sigil, like someone took the symbol of the Grey Warden and sort of reworked it to be their personal sign, and you in particular, because perhaps after your battlefield promotion to Warden Commander, you recognize this as belonging to Ferele, who was also, like you, a Warden Commander, and based on the placement and such of her sigil, was probably quite personally involved in the construction of this place. And so, I would like perception rolls from everybody, please.
Uh-oh.
Does Darkspawn Sense have anything to do with this?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. That's a 7.
A 5.
14.
Okay, so it is Rayla. As you sort of stumble through, you find a dagger wrapped in some parchment.
It's not the usual way to store a dagger, so I'm definitely curious.
Okay. So
I would like to inspect the dagger more closely.
all right. So the dagger is not, it was not created or designed to be a functional dagger. Looking at this, it appears to have a very ceremonial purpose. That being said, the edge is still pretty razor sharp. And the writing on the ancient parchment is barely legible. But it says, "Raise your face and hands to the skies and speak the words, O Dumat, O Lord of Silence, accept these sacrifices made in your name. Grant us your power and all that we seek."
Commander, since you seem to know about this ritual, does this sound like what we are looking for?
Nothing in my notes said anything about that, but might as well hold on to it. Maybe it's something that we didn't get told about. Didn't get told about a lot.
I'm gonna check with the in the know NPCs to see if this sounds familiar to anybody. If they've heard that name before. If this sounds like something they have pursued in the past, that kind of thing.
Right. Wow. So the one thing that I will give you, because apparently Roll20 consistently hates game runners, because I rolled a 9, a 10, and a 6. You mentioned this to Pietra, and Pietra recognizes the name Duma, because apparently she has been studying herself as well. And says, "Isn't that isn't that one of the archdemons in one of the earlier blights?
Does that sound familiar to me? Like, does that sound correct?
Now that she brings it up, yes, Dumont is a name that mothers use to terrify their children, and it is the name of the demon responsible for the first blight.
And where exactly did we find this dagger? Like, this ritual dagger?
Almost like someone hid it. You just sort
Okay.
of like with your with your keen elven eyes spotted it in a pile of rubble. Yeah, Steve got that reference.
Okay, so this was a Grey Warden. I don't know if it was a Grey Warden sanctuary, like when it was built, or if it was built by, cultists, and the Grey Wardens took it over and, slapped, like they rebranded the place. But I mean, obviously we don't want to recreate this ritual, I would imagine, because we don't want to be praising this guy. I'm going to avoid saying names just because names have power.
Well, so if the Grey Wardens did their job correctly, Dumont is dead.
Yeah, but that's a big if.
You had said that I recognize this as being done by Forelli?
Yes. Yes.
And was
she-
so
So she was a warden commander who fought in the first blight, and her career after the blight was mostly focused on researching and understanding Darkspawn, because the first blight hit humanity by surprise, and so after it all cleared up, it's like, okay, what the fuck just happened? And she was one of the people who dedicated her life to answering that question.
okay.
So this ritual was maybe used to wake up the guy the demon responsible for the first blight. I guess my major question then would be, why is this dagger just kind of like hanging around in some rubble in this fortress? Seems odd.
Especially considering it has a addendum basically saying, "Hey, give us power, archdemon." Right.
So, and you said the fortress was created by the first warden commander, not the parchment itself. It wasn't like written in her handwriting or anything.
You do not know whose handwriting it was written in.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can speculate all day, so we'll just have to keep in mind that there may be something else in play here as we proceed.
Okay.
I'm going to hang on to the dagger. Does this parchment, does it look like it was written in blood or anything like that? Is it covered with arcane runes or sigils or anything that I think could become a problem later on if someone got a hold of it?
So there is a little bit of arcane marking that you as a mage would recognize as being part of a ritual script. However, the ritual is incomplete.
And we don't... Sorry, Commander, do we know whether or not this ritual that this comes from is the one we need to do, or do we know that ritual and we don't need whatever this is?
According to my information, we're just resetting the seals. There
Okay.
shouldn't be a need for a new ritual to be performed. It's
In that
just
case-
like laying on more paint.
Okay. In that case, requesting permission to destroy this so nobody can grab it to complete whatever ritual was hailing, the very first archdemon.
Garrick will pull out his little mini anvil and hammer and say, "Let's go to town."
Well, I was thinking of destroying the parchment that has the script bit. We can destroy the dagger too if you'd like, but... Sorry, this out of character. The video game player in me is like, but that might come in useful somewhere.
I mean,
but
it'll come in useful in like 400 years when Hawk shows up.
I haven't played that. I haven't played that one, so I
am
don't know what that's a reference
shamelessly
to.
stealing from the Dragon Age 2 DLC for this session. Shamelessly.
Fair enough. That's okay.
Admit nothing.
I'm just gonna presume that it's a terrible idea to leave any of this.
That's the assumption I'm operating under as well.
That's
All
why,
right.
break that. Break it, burn it.
Okay, I'll burn the parchment if the commander wants to destroy the dagger.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The parchment is very flammable. However, Garrick, you can damage the dagger where you are right now. However, destroying it, you can tell, will require, like, an entire hot forge.
Okay. So it was made really well, so there's no, like, snapping it.
Right.
Okay.
Someone put expense and effort into creating this dagger.
Am I able to dull it at all so that it can't stab?
Yeah, you can whap it against the stone walls a little bit to dull the edge.
Yeah, let's dull the edge just so that it's not pointy, just so that it doesn't accidentally make a whole lot of trouble somehow. It's
Okay.
ancient,
Yeah.
it's an artifact I don't trust.
I will
Alright.
wrap it the blade so that it's like I'll wrap it in like an extra shirt or something before putting it like at the bottom of my backpack because I don't want it to accidentally draw blood in case that's like relevant or important to it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you probably have a spare pair of wool socks you can just tuck it into.
my spare loincloth.
Gross.
It's clean. It's just a spare
It's
loincloth.
the spare one, right? It's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they're the emergency pair. Come
That's
on.
the one you wear after you get surrounded by Darkspawn.
I mean, I'm just saying socks. All right.
Or, a sheath.
You carry sheets
Oh.
with you on adventures?
I'm sure that our wonderful Harold Wynn has a few spare dagger sheaths.
That's a good point.
Probably.
You're saying
Yeah.
sheaths.
Yes.
Not sheets.
I thought you said sheets to go with like underwear, socks, sheets.
Yeah, that
I-
makes sense.
I will say, as soldiers used to being out in the field, you absolutely have spare pairs of socks. You probably have spare
yeah.
underwear. You do not have sheets. You are not living that nicely.
Fine.
Alright.
I need
So-
my 10,000 thread count sheets, please. I don't know. Is that a lot? Are those good sheets? I don't know what good sheets are.
Yes, because, 500's really good.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, 10,000 would be like, you'd probably never get up.
Yeah, 10,000 would be like you are being cradled in the hand of God herself.
Yeah.
Gonna just go ahead and go to Amazon real quick. 10,000 count.
Alright, so, do you want to inspect the surroundings for anything more, or just press on straight forward?
I figured we'd be doing that slow trudge where we have time to look at everything, but, if it's missed, it's missed.
All right.
Yeah.
In that case, another perception roll,
Jürgen?
please.
I would like to hold Control or Shift, whatever button is, to highlight all applicable items in this room.
That is Tab,
That's
Tab.
using your noggin.
Yes.
Right
and
there.
you do that by rolling perception.
Oh.
I got a 12.
A 10.
11.
Okay.
Jurgen is not perceptive.
Sorry, wait, I added 1. 10.
All right. Okay, and so how much did Rayleth get?
12. Yeah.
All right, so 2 10s and a 12?
Yes.
It sounds
Okay.
like it, yeah.
All right. Rayleth, you find there's iron wrought crown.
Oh, I mean that's not good.
And again, it has a piece of parchment sort of tucked into like one of the little gaps created by the over-designed ironwork. And so the parchment reads, "In reverence you will approach the altar. Know that you come into the presence of Dumont. With head bowed, say, Blessed are you, Dumont, silent and strong, secret and wise. We bring you gifts, sacrifices to your greatness." And Pietra... I'm sorry? Go ahead.
Does it also have a snippet of the ritual script?
Yes.
Okay.
And Pietra is poking her head around a corner, and you almost didn't realize it was a corner. It's that well hidden. And she just says, "Oh, what's this?" And so, following her gaze, you find this side room so there's an altar and an idol, and this is quite clearly a ritual space. I am posting the image of that into the Discord right now. So that is what you see.
Are those offering plates?
That is a reasonable assumption to make, yes.
Okay.
So dagger, crown, and then some other thing is supposed to be placed in, or some other things are meant to be placed in the other two, it would seem.
And it's all for Dumont. We never learned what the name of this dread darkspawn was, did we?
Nope.
Okay.
We just know its vibes are bad.
So its vibes are bad, and we're finding a whole bunch of stuff for Dumont. Cool. But it's all untouched stuff, except for, it doesn't look like any of this stuff has been used. It's just randomly hanging around, and we're finding it.
It's difficult to tell if it has been used. So one thing that I will just give you this for free because you're all Grey Wardens. You can sense the presence of a very, very powerful darkspawn somewhere in this prison. Likely the thing that the prison itself was built to contain. And essentially, like attracts like. If this darkspawn has been here for centuries, just sort of emitting the low-grade hum that archdemons also emit, if it's able to attract other darkspawn to it, it is entirely likely that that is why these items have appeared here. essentially darkspawn cultists.
Gotcha.
Yeah, cool.
So-
yeah.
The big bad is swiping right, and everybody in the general area is following suit. Okay.
I don't understand that reference.
Swipe right because you like.
Yeah, it's a Tinder thing.
Not on
Are
Tinder,
any-
Rachel.
I'm getting married in August.
Bob will be pleased.
So what you're saying is both you and Bob swiped right.
We started dating way before dating apps were a thing. Like, we had OkCupid.
Swiping right, it's timeless. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do any of these
Virgil
things
wrote about
have exactly the epic romantic poems? So, do any of these things give off a noticeable like magic aura, or like are they magic in and of themselves, or are they kind of like only special or important as part of this ritual?
Give me a magic roll for that, please.
Oh, right.
This
Would
would be pretty easy at an 11.
would my specialty in spirit magic make a difference?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
And is there any like darkspawn presence like still left on any of these items?
That is an 18.
Oh, shit.
That's a lot.
Okay. So, you examine these two things that you have, the crown and the dagger. There is... So with an 18, you sense just the tiniest bit of magical residue. So these things are not magical of themselves, but were likely used in a magical ritual.
Okay. I was considering dispelling whatever magic was in them, but it doesn't seem like they have any of their own, so I doubt that will be much use. However, I don't feel particularly pleased with the idea that we basically have two of these items, you know, that we've delivered the rest of the way to this room. So I think we should probably figure out a way to distance them from the altar, if we can't outright destroy it. What about the altar itself? Is there like a magic? Actually, you know what? I'm not dispelling anything that's a part of the structure because I don't want to weaken the seals and let the thing loose. So, okay, all right.
Yeah, so with an 18, I will give you this as a bonus. So you're looking at the Grey Warden sigils all around, knowing that this thing was built to be a prison, and you're looking at the artifacts that you have, and it seems to you a reasonable conclusion that at some point things snuck in here as an act of worship.
Does this thing look like it was built, like, comparatively to the rest of the structure? Does this altar look like it was built recently? Or does it look like it was built at the same time the structure was? Because if so, that's sus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give me a cunning roll, please, at 13.
Can I use my engineering?
You absolutely can.
Can I use Arcane Lore? No.
Engineering is this question.
Okay, I only got a 10. Hopefully Garrick's engineering specialty will be more fruitful.
An 11.
I mean, technically it is more fruitful than mine, so I won't complain.
Okay.
My physical dice are against me today.
So it's difficult to tell. The one thing that you do determine is that the stone that the altar and the idol is built of is not. It is not the stone that surrounds you.
So that was taken in, while the rest of it was built into the wall. Okay.
Okay.
So wait. Can we move the altar?
Not without some serious equipment.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to run into like a bunch of undead like warden traders or something like that we were going to have to deal with. Like, if that's the case, I'd like to know in advance.
Yeah.
But does not seem to be the situation.
I mean, at the point that a warden would betray the order to do that, they would register to your perception as darkspawn.
Okay.
Terrible setting lore.
All right. Well, in that case, I still think we need to keep the items separate. Commander, do you want to hang on to the crown?
Okay, so
Again,
Harold is
not
just
very separate, but
Harold's just
Sorry.
kind of following us around right now, right?
Yeah,
Just-
he's poking around and making clips and helping as best he can.
I'm gonna let Harold hold onto the crown, but
Okay.
specifically tell him not to wear it, or else I'll take his head off with the crown. Because I have to throw in
Okay.
a threat. I have to throw in a threat with him, or else I know it'll happen.
All right. I will pilot Harold enough to the point that he will, at the very least, not put it on in front of you.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for.
Okay. So, same question. Continue poking around or continue straight?
You guys, you want to poke around here just a little bit more, or you want to keep going?
I mean, I'm super curious about this place, but I feel like the other ritual was a little bit more pressing, so we can always circle back here when we're done, assuming we survive.
Fair enough. Press on.
All right.
Onward and downward.
Okay, cool. So, you progress down into the next level. And so what is happening here is there's a tremendous energy puzzle that you're sort of looking at and figuring out. Okay. We've got to move things around to make our way through. And based on what you can see of just the decayed bodies of Darkspawn, okay, they're meant to get fried. This puzzle requires someone with critical thinking to solve. So in the video game, this is a very, very fun puzzle. In a role-playing situation, it is a very, very frustrating puzzle. So,
Wait, is this the one with the, like, 8 or 9 stone tablets, and you have to go, like, in each area first, one by one?
no, it's the one where there's like a whole bunch of nodes that are sending like beams like from one node to the next, and you've got to like move the little pillars around so that the nodes are all pointing in the right direction so that you can like pick out the safe path without getting fried.
Okay.
So, all I will require for this floor is a cunning roll, please. Difficulty 13.
Can engineering help on this one?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. 13 on the money.
Oh, from all of us or just from?
All of us.
Just one person. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no. Garrick made the roll and he passed.
Perfect.
Well done. So, Garrick, you spend about 5 or 10 minutes just sort of studying how it goes, and you're like, okay, we're gonna move this column this way, and this other column the other way, and you make your way through. Alright, so is there anything that you would like to do before descending to the final floor?
Is there an area that we can search for more relics?
Yeah, go ahead, give me a perception roll, please.
I would like to let someone else do that because I don't see things well.
Let's face it.
Okay.
Not a lot of us
All
have
right.
seen things well. So when we pass through, does that mean that the entire hallway is now clean so that anybody can walk through?
Yes.
As we pass through the last 2 columns, to say, I want us to rotate them around so that they're not facing the right directions, so that if somebody was following us, we're not just solving the puzzle for them.
So noted. So if someone follows you who has, like, reason and awareness, it'll be pretty easy for them to be like, oh, move. But if it's, like, mindless darkspawn, they're like, zot, 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 zot.
That's what I'm hoping for,
Okay.
because if there's suddenly a massive amount of darkspawn coming to try and stop us from redoing the ritual, hey, that's easier for us.
Okay.
I got an 11 on the perception roll.
All right. You find this carved stone urn. And again, tucked into one of the carved handles is a piece of parchment. You unroll it. Again, more ritual markings, and it reads, "Press your palms and forehead to the ground before the altar. Then these words, thrice repeated, gold and jewels, meat and blood, sacrifices to your hungry heart."
I would like to. I should have said this earlier, but I am not reading these things out loud.
Okay.
I am also not allowing, like, I will ask people, like, about key details, like names that might be mentioned or whatever, but I am not letting anybody else read these either. And I am going to destroy the one that we picked up with the crown, and I'm going to destroy this one as well.
Okay.
What did you say this last item was?
An urn.
An urn. Is there something in the urn?
Do you want to open it and find out?
No, I'm good. I was thinking it was an open urn already.
Nope, it is.
If I shake it,
So while you shake it, Garrick's going to twitch his head around. Anybody else hear that?
yeah. So anything that's going to offer power in exchange for being let out is probably not something we should trust. Do we have any way of sealing this thing so that it won't accidentally pop open? Anybody?
It is fairly well sealed as is.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can definitely put it in another sock or loincloth.
Yes. I knew those. I knew that bulk loincloth sale was going to come in handy sometime.
My underwear is full of relics.
Okay, yeah. So I'll do whatever I can to wrap it, blanket, loincloth, whatever it happens to be. Who's going to hold on to this one?
Jurgen,
Garrick,
you're the
actually-
liveliest of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it should be Garrick because he's going to be in the middle of the fights, and the chances of it being broken on accident are too high. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, Jurgen, you're the liveliest of us.
Yes.
So please hold on to this urn.
I will.
thank you, Jurgen. Also, I'm going to be regularly checking that everybody is still with us. Like, I don't want any of the NPCs, like, I don't know, just as a random example off the top of my head, Pietra, who seems really, really, really fascinated and knowledgeable. I want to make sure they're not wandering off from us.
They are not. And
Okay.
so I sent secret messages to everybody in the Discord about the whispers that you all hear in the back of your head. Something offering you great power in exchange for being set free.
hmm
And you all check in with each other and realize that you're all experiencing essentially the same thing. Looking at the mages that you have brought, none of them have any idea what you're talking about. Clearly
Wonderful.
sincere about this.
Now I know why it needs to be a blood mage that hasn't joined.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can't offer
So-
them power.
Whatever it is that's asking to be let out, it might not be in the urn itself. It might be from the altar, but now that we've got enough of the items, it's like, ooh, now I want to pay attention to you guys. But I still think it's best to be safe with the urn.
It's also strange that all of these items are here, and yet that cult didn't bring them all together.
It is strange. Almost like video game writers had to come up with like some quest stuff to keep you busy in a dungeon, but didn't really think about the logical ramifications of it in a narrative, realistic perspective.
Hush with
I
your
mean,
logic.
that's why I just added
Sorry.
my own fan fiction.
Exactly.
Okay. So with this realization in tow, you're gonna say something?
I have a question.
Yes.
What is it, Jurgen?
What is the difference between letting out this and what we did for Christum?
Oh yeah, where is Krista? Like, what was his name?
I believe Chrisdom is the portmanteau that you came up with. And to answer your question, he is hanging out on Harrowwind's shoulder.
Okay, so still around.
We released Christum in exchange for knowledge.
There's a difference between knowledge and letting the knowledge between releasing a thing that might cause some damage and a dread dark spawn. Think of Chrisdom as the small evil versus the large evil.
For the record, if I had been there, I would have heavily advised against that whole plan of action. So-
What?
but that's beside the point.
Beautiful plan. But that's how Garrick's going to basically say it. We did a minor bad. Letting this things out would be a major bad.
When do you get to decide when a major bad becomes a big bad?
When it destroys the entirety of humanity.
What about just a little bit of humanity?
That's
As
why
a
we
treat.
That's why Chrisdom got to go out, because we might not ever see him destroy something. Plus, we have him on a leash that's totally, entirely infallible and will never break.
Yeah, exactly. What does Chrisdom seem to what opinion does Chrisdom seem to have about all this?
So what specifically do you ask Chrisdom?
Is Does Kristen identify male, female, or not really like bothered with it?
Let's go with genderless. They're a they.
Okay. Okay.
Or an it,
Uh,
even, because they're not even a person.
wow. um.
Well, they're not a person.
Yeah, that's true. They're demon. Okay, so then I'm going to ask them whether or not they hear this voice that the rest of us are hearing.
What voice? I hear your voice. I hear their voices.
Does this
And, like,
seem legit?
When it says I hear their voices, like, looks to the people with you who have been speaking.
Okay. So, does it seem like he's like it's like they're saying telling the truth, like, or does
Go
it seem
ahead
like
and
they're
give me. Let's see, what level would this be? Yeah, give me a communication roll, please.
Oh, it's like my worst one. Actually, no, my worst one is strength, but it's close. All right. Communication. Come on. Hey, there we go. 15. I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, as far as you can tell, the spirit seems to be sincere.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it's not like gonna tempt the other demon into fulfilling its request. I don't even know if it can, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay. Well, in that case, I don't think there's much else to do but press on. We've got 3 of these items. We're gonna make sure that they stay well the hell away from that room, and life is good. Shall we?
Let us press forward.
Okay. So, you move through the dungeon. You don't find any more of these artifacts.
We have 3, right?
Yes. You have the dagger, the crown, and the
Crown,
urn.
the urn, yeah.
So, you sort of descend down, and as you go into the lower floors, the craftsman and the workmanship doesn't seem to be as fancy or as elaborate. It's more utilitarian. We needed to whack out a tunnel, so we whacked out a tunnel. Okay. And so, you come to this wide open room, almost like a cave. And scattered about, you see an array of bodies and skeletons. And I'm not even going to make you roll for this because it's very easy to pick up on the fact that they are all different ages. So there are a couple bodies that are very withered, desiccated skeletons that are clearly centuries old. And then other bodies that are a little bit more recent. So it appears as though, judging by the armor, Grey Wardens in particular have been coming down to this place and dying throughout the ages. And you see one more figure. You only see it right now from the back. And it appears to be a Grey Warden commander, holding some kind of vigil before this great stone door.
Cool.
Commander, I believe this is your rodeo.
Indeed, this seems to be it. So I will march forward to see what.
So the one thing I will give you is you are experiencing the same hum that you would expect from Darkspawn is coming from this Warden Commander holding vigil.
Oh. So there's a traitorous warden commander or somebody who has basically taken it in. Cool. Cool. Are they still alive?
You want to get close enough to answer that question?
Yes.
You'll be fine. Go on. You got this.
Okay. So
Actually,
is
real
it...
quick, can I be prepared, just in case it comes up, to cast... sorry, spell is Force Field. I'm just saying, if something looks like it's going to, like, squash Garrick flat, kill him outright, I've got Force Field, like, on the tip of my tongue to cast it,
Okay.
just in case.
You can absolutely have that action readied.
Okay.
Is there something that Jurgen would like to have ready?
Stick.
Stick.
Yes, I ready stick.
Okay. So, here's what happens, is Garrick, you approach the Warden Commander holding vigil. And you do manage to attract its attention. And it circles around and you see its decayed, bloody face. So, like, the eyes are completely gone and there's just been ichor leaking from the eyeballs. And beholding this creature, you immediately understand there is nothing human left about it. And it just sort of growls at you. And that is when some of the other bodies and corpses begin to stand up. So, it's a little early for a 10-minute break, but because you're about to enter one ginormous combat, it does seem like a good point to take a 10-minute break. And when we come back, it will be all violence and chaos all the time.
I'm glad I readied stick.
Yay!
Yes. You all have your readied action. You will be able to get off your readied action in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
And we return. That was a little bit of an extended break, but hey, there's death and destruction to prepare for, so we beg your indulgence. Speaking of death and destruction, could I please get initiative rolls from everybody?
If we all politely refuse, does that mean we don't have to do the fight?
So, I put up a shingle on Start Playing Games, and I promise this is going somewhere. And so I'm running an adventure that I wrote called Return to Teutoburg Forest. It's Roman Call of Cthulhu. Well, thank you. So one of the things that I have written in the script is the PCs get their orders. And I wrote in like what happens if a player character absolutely refuses to obey? Well, the commander will remind them you're in the legions, you don't really have a choice. If the player persists, it is in the script that they are taken out and stoned to death by their fellow soldiers. Roll up a new character.
Nice.
Sounds legit.
Okay.
So you could definitely opt out of this combat. There will be consequences.
Wait, does that mean Ben's gonna get stoned to death, or is it that Raylath is gonna get stoned to death? Because very different, like.
I mean, Ben, if you want to get stoned in the privacy of your own house, I'm not gonna stop you. Like, it's Memorial Day, go nuts.
That's fair. All right. The dice have apparently decided tonight that they are going to roll decidedly slightly less than average for me. So this is going to go great.
All right, what is your initiative?
9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How about Jurgen?
18.
Hit.
And mine's 13. But I got a 2 on the dragon die. Does that mean I can move myself closer to Warden Commander?
You are already up in his business.
Does that
Like,
mean
you
can I
basically
defensive
tapped him on-
stance?
Sure. Yes.
Cool.
All right. So does anyone, because I believe Raylath was considering doing force gauge, any other prepared actions want to trigger before we go into initiative count?
I am not going to do force field. It would not make sense in this current situation. So.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, I'm just prepping to hit with stick.
Splashy slash.
Okay, let me just play BJ.
DJ Stolen Fires.
With some Promethean rock.
Alright, excellent. Okay. There we go, some combat music. Jurgen, you get to go first.
Okay. Okay, so we've got the Knight Commander with the runny eyes, and
Yeah, so
talk me through the two
what is...
ads again, really quick.
Yeah, so essentially what is happening is the Warden Commander has become a Revenant. And they are summoning 2 arcane horrors to fight with them against you. There were a couple other monsters that I deleted, and we will just assume Heroin is taking care of them.
Okay. So these 2 extras are in the process of being summoned, or are there already?
So the spirits animating them have entered the body, and now they are slowly standing up, ready to do violence.
Okay. Then I will move up to top one here as he's getting up. I can't move.
Alright, I will use that marker for you.
Okie doke. And I'm gonna whack this one before it can stand up, hopefully. Alright.
Whack away.
My whack roll includes... Do we still have all those super dope bonuses from last time?
No +5.
Not yet.
Remind me where those came from?
Ben gave everyone a +5, and something had given us a +3 to dark spawn, but this is not a dark spawn. Only the Warden Commanders are considered a dark spawn, you said.
Yes.
So...
And Harold was giving us a +1 to accuracy to hit with all of our weapons from his song. So
Right.
I will be giving you the +5 momentarily once it gets to my turn.
Okay. Cool. 5, and then on top of that, with the bonuses are +2, so currently +7 to hit. 3d6 +7 coming up. Let's go. R 3d6 +7 equals. Does a 17 hit the monster?
It is an arcane horror, and yes, it does.
Okay. And I have 4 dragon points because I rolled 2 4s, and one of those 4s is my dragon die. So
Excellent.
4 stunts. Let's take a look. Where are my combat stunts? First turn of the game. Never prepared. Oh my gosh, I feel like a jerk. Okay, hold on. I got this. Combat encounters. Combat stunts are on page 54. For 4 dual strike, uses it affects 2 targets. No one set up. Lightning attack. And sight, you must have a loaded macaroni attack doubles. Threaten. Pierce armor. Okay. I would like to split my attacks here. I would like to do Pierce Armor and Mighty Blow, please.
To the same target?
To the same target.
Okay.
Because I have 4 points, and those are both 2-point stunts. So its armor rating is going to be halved, rounding down.
Cool.
And I'm going to add an extra d6 to the damage.
Go ahead and roll that.
And my damage is 1d6 +1 currently. So 2d6 +1. Or 2d6 +1. For a total of 6 damage.
All right. So you do manage to pierce through some of sort of the rotting, decayed parts of his armor and just whap him like right solidly in the shoulder. Oh god, the pain. Cool. Anything else you'd like to do?
I go into waiting for my next action pose.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Garrick. Wow, okay, that's pathetic.
It hits.
You're lying. So I rolled a 6. Even with the bonus, there's no way that the Revenant will be able to
It's
hit
almost like the die is giving you the birds with the position of those wings.
Yes.
That feels like it, yes. Okay. So the Revenant swipes at you, but it's clearly not used to moving in this body, so absolutely misses. What would you like to do? It's your turn.
Sword and board.
Okay. Whap it.
I'm a smack a revenant. Maybe. That's 13 plus 7 is 20.
That'll hit.
Cool. And I get to hit with 2 dice 6 plus a few things. 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus. Let me just math this. 6, 11, 13. 14 damage.
14 damage? Okay,
14
minus. Is any of that armor piercing?
None of it is armor piercing.
Okay. So you do, as you land your blows, this is, the Revenant is wearing very well-made Warden armor. And it is a trick to get through. You do some damage, but you can tell that the finely crafted plate armor does absorb a lot of the force of your attack. Okay, and so what happens next is the arcane horror that Jurgen attacked will fight back. So Jurgen does an 18 hit.
I am fairly certain it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Oh, and that's some doubles right there as well, with 6 stunt points.
Ah! It's lethal blow and incoming.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
okay.
so sorry. I forgot to do my thing for you. Oh.
I've got 3 armor. I'm fine.
All right. Okay. So you take 13 damage, and you are pushed 2 yards away.
Okay. Owie. And I'm pushed. Okay. Honestly, thought that could have been a lot worse than 13.
That's what the roll.
No,
I mean,
no,
it was
I'm like
decidedly average roll.
awesome. Okay. And that is before armor, right?
Yeah, so you subtract your
so
armor
10.
from the 13.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Garrick. Whomst are you ordering Pietra to attack?
Oh, Pietra. I feel like Pietra should join in with Jurgen in trying to smack one. So the one that Jurgen's after.
Alright. So she will arcane lance him. Oh, wow. That is a really good roll. No doubles for her, sadly. But...
Nice.
Okay. So she does some amount of damage. Okay. And so, I believe the other arcane horror, Garrick is its closest target, so would a 19 hit Garrick?
I forget. Does the defensive stance last throughout just until my turn?
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds to check, because if it does, then no. If it continues through the next one, then it hits. Or, let me just see real quick. Yeah, no, it hits.
Okay. Oh, and that's some doubles as well. So, that is 3 points. Alright, so this one is going to pierce armor. Alright, so it does 10 damage, minus half your armor rounded down.
Okay, it does 5 damage. Sweet.
Okay, Raylath, it is your turn.
Woo! All right. I'm going to be dropping some telekinetic weapons. I do believe. I don't think I have to worry about all allies. Okay, perfect. Yes. So that was the casting roll. I needed a 17, got an 18, got it. So that's going to be. Oh, come on, Adobe, work with me here.
And so who are
This
you
is-
attacking?
I'm not attacking anybody. I'm casting telekinetic weapons
Oh,
to buff everybody.
okay. Excellent.
Lasts for 1 minute. I'm not going to spend any MP to make it last longer than that because I don't think it's going to be relevant. And this is all allies within 10 yards of me. So anybody who's got a weapon and is trying to hit these guys will get the +5 bonus to their damage. In addition to that, just as a reminder, you can treat Pierce Armor stunt is costing 1 fewer stunt point than normal. So, I don't think. Yeah, I think I only have a minor action left, so I can reposition a little bit on the battlefield, but I don't know that there's really much point to that. Who is this?
That is Jurgen.
Okay. I mean, I guess I will move over. I'll move over towards Jurgen, just to kind of back Jurgen up.
Okay.
Let's see, that was. I'm done with my turn. I'm just doing bookkeeping at this point.
All right, we circle back to Jurgen. What would you like to do?
I'd like to dust myself off and dive back in.
Okay.
So I'm going to move back within melee range of bad guy.
All right.
And now with my telekinetic weapon being boosted by Ralof, hit again, which is going to be 3d6 plus 7 to hit. Does a 16 hit?
That'll absolutely hit.
Awesome, and that's 3 stunt points. What is one less to
Pierce armor.
Pierce armor? Awesome.
So it should only be 1
So
point.
it's 1 point, which would then also give me I could do mighty blow again. Interesting. Or making it to get a final bonus. Cannot run. Knock your enemy. That's interesting. Alright, I might come back to that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do Pierce Armor for 1, Mighty Blow for 2, using up my 3 stunt points. So I'm going to add a d6 to that, and he has to half his armor. So my damage currently now is 2d6 plus 6.
Respectable.
For a total of
Nice.
10 damage.
All right. You definitely cleave into this asshole. He's still standing up,
Oh, sure.
but thanks to the beneficence of focused fire, you are hurting it some. All right, Garrick, the revenant that you are fighting, takes another whack at you. Wow. I assume a 13 will not hit.
Oh no.
Okay. Wow, do better, Revenant. Well, you may now make a
Don't
counterattack.
worry.
It is your turn.
He will do much better when he hits the floor. 551 plus 7, so 18.
That'll hit.
With 5 stunt dice. And I'm going to make pierce armor for one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive stance, so that I have, or because it only costs me 1, so that's +2 on that, so I have 20. And I will lightning blow, so I'm going to roll again to see if I can hit him a second time.
Okay.
Strictly on the Warden Commander. And does the second blow also get pierce armor, or is just the first?
Just the first one. You would have to pay a second stunt point to get it on both.
Okay. Well, that's 19 for the second attack, so both hit.
Okay.
But the first attack with pierce armor is 8 plus 14, so that's 22.
Okay.
And then the second one is, without that, that's 9 plus 14, so 23. But that's that's with full armor.
All right. Doing math. Okay. He's still up, but you managed to land a couple real lucky blows. Just cutting into it and doing a really slick twist move. He is still up, but he is not happy. Alright, so, the Arcane Horror, facing down Jurgen, will let loose with an Arcane Bolt. Or Arcane Lance, rather. It's an 18 hit.
It does.
Oh, and he's got some stunt points.
No.
Alright. Yeah, I think he'll just mighty blow you. What?
Just a mighty blow.
Just a mighty blow. Alright, that does 11 damage to Jurgen.
That hurts. 7, 8, 8.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to do this. I'm so sorry, Jurgen.
No, it's fine. It's great. I'm doing great over here. Don't worry about me.
So for everyone here, I keep forgetting that I have Guardian and need to activate it, and that would be 2 less points for him every time.
That's okay.
Alright, well,
I've got
Pietra.
dirt.
Alright, Pietra hits. Okay, and so she assumingly gets the bonus. So she's going to use armor piercing and then the extra 1d6 on her attack. And then, okay. Alright, so she hits it for a respectable amount of damage. It is still up, but not looking good. And so the other Arcane Horror will attack Garrick, again, letting forth a huge wave of energy. So... Does a 14 hit Garrick?
No.
Alright, so it manages to miss. Rayleth, it is your turn.
All right. Well, seeing as the one in front of Jurgen is injured, I think I'm gonna do something outside the norm. I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna stab it with my rapier. I don't want to keep using the spell points. So actually, What's the lowest number you've hit this thing with, Jurgen? Out of curiosity.
I hit it with a 16. And then I hit it, 16 was my lowest attack roll.
What the heck?
You got this.
You only live once, so...
Not if I can help it.
Ooh, that's only a 13.
Yeah, but it's
That's probably
big
gonna
and
miss.
meaty.
Wait,
Yeah.
which one are you attacking?
One of the arcane
The-
horrors.
Yeah.
The arcane horror
Oh.
that Jurgen and Pietra have been attacking.
Alright, well, that will hit.
Ooh,
Its defense
that's-
is real low.
Yeah, because it's big and meaty and
Mm-hmm.
thick.
Armor, on the
Okay.
other hand.
Right.
Oh, out of curiosity, I was gonna say that that I wanted to use my combat magic stance, but I realized it says I have to activate it as an action. Does that mean a major action
Minor.
or a minor? Oh,
Minor.
okay. Perfect. In that case, I am gonna do that first. So that means that any spells I cast, okay, blah blah blah, and then okay, cool. So I am gonna do D6 plus 3, so D6 plus 13. $18 points of damage.
Yeah. Alright, this guy is not looking good. You have fairly well worn it down. It's still up, but barely. So we circle around to Jurgen.
You said it's still up, but barely.
Yes.
Well, let's take out that barely.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna wail on this one more time, which I looked up for the first time in my life, so that I got it right in chat. To wail on something is W-H-A-L-E, like the animal. I never knew that. I didn't know what version of whale to use.
I don't even know the etymology behind that.
I think it's just
I guess
big and
'cause, like-
it's the dictionary referred to it as slang and being, big and imposing. Basically, you're wailing on
I
something.
guess if you get hit by a whale, you're having a real bad
a
day.
real fucking bad day.
So according to the internet, it's 7 beat or whip severely, 1790, possibly a variant of whale, which is W-A-L-E, which is to mark with whales or stripes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with if you get hit by a whale, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, that sounds more fun.
Hasn't there been a bunch of whale attacks recently on boats? Which, by the way, go whales.
Orca, yes.
Yeah.
They've been attacking yachts. Good for them.
Good
Go
for-
orcas.
Yes. We should all attack
Yeah.
more yachts. Okay, so I should be
Beach the
rolling-
rich.
Alright, so that is 3d6 plus 7 to hit. Hot damn! I'm assuming a 23 hits?
Absolutely. And you've got 5 stun
5
points.
stun points. This is the best combat rolls
Ooh.
I've had in this game. This is awesome. I can actually use stunts. Okay, so I'm obviously going to pierce armor, because this thing's got a shit ton of armor. That is 1. So I have 4 left? Is that right?
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe so. I believe so. You take rapid skirmish of your attack in any direction. It's knock prone. Sorry. Okay, I'm just looking at all these things. Okay, I am going to pierce armor for 1, which leaves me with 4. I would then like to lightning attack. Which means I can make a second attack against the same enemy or a different one within range. I have a melee, so I don't have to reload, so on and so forth. So my damage currently is R1d6 plus 6. Is that right? Yes, that is correct. I am a smart person. Which is perfect damage, 12.
Nice, well done.
Is it still up?
Barely.
Good.
Oh.
So I've lightning strike, which means I get to hit it again.
Okay.
So I will make a second attack of 3d6 plus 7, 16 to hit.
Okay, you paste this arcane horror.
Yes.
It is gone.
So it's like skeleton, like it was like bones and stuff like coming back together, you said, or?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it was, one of the corpses hanging around that was, animated by all the ambient magic. And you have essentially rendered the mortal shell incapable for housing whatever spirit was here, and it has quite likely fled back into the Fade.
Awesome. Just imagining stoic, like, no emotion. I'm just like wailing on this thing. Just bop, bop.
Alright, and so the Revenant on Garrick will a 15 hit.
No.
Okay. So, wow. For a super tough major threat, this thing has, like, no combat capability. So, Garrick, how would you like to respond?
I'm gonna sword and board again.
Okay.
It needs to go down. Who knows? Maybe the other hench corpse of it will just fall when it does. I'm gonna guess I'm not hitting, but let me see. That's 6, 7 plus 7 is 14.
That actually will hit. These things are both really easy to hit, it's just getting past the armor that's the difficulty.
Well, good, because I rolled doubles and I have 1, and I'm using that for pierce armor.
Okay.
So, pierce armor, and I got 2d6 plus a lot. That's 20.
Alright. Again, still up.
Oh, that fucker.
Alright. Still up, but you have managed to chip away and cut away a lot of its armor. Pietra, would you like her to attack the Revenant or attack the other arcane horror?
Go for the big guy. Go for the big guy.
Okay. Alright, so that will hit. Wait, no. Okay, that will still hit. Oh, and okay, she gets doubles. Okay, so Pietra lets loose with an arcane lance that... Yes, absolutely brings the Revenant down. So the NPC gets the kill shot, but hey, it's dead. It's not up anymore. And so, this other arcane horror, sort of seeing what has happened, will change the focus of its attack. Again to Garrick, because you are clearly the biggest threat on the battlefield. And a 16 will probably not hit.
No.
Damn. All right, Rayleth, it is your turn.
All right. I'm not gonna get fancy with it. I'm just gonna stand back here and I'm going to. No, I'm gonna stab it. They're easy to hit, and I do way more damage, like consistent damage this way. So that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, go for it.
So 15, 5 stun points. So I am going to pierce armor. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Combat stunts are on page 54.
We've also got combat stunts pinned in Discord.
Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
I've memorized it so I can jump there quickly. That's not gonna. I don't really need that. Can I can't buy the same stunt twice, right? Like I can't spend 2 stunt points to get Mighty Blow and then 2 stunt points to get Mighty Blow again.
So in the case
because
of...
Lethal Blow is...
Yeah, so normally I'd say you could. So like if you had enough stun points to do lightning attack and then prone, as long as you had the points, I would let you do it. But in specific, because Lethal Blow is separate, you would need enough points for Lethal Blow.
I see. Okay. Well, so that's going to leave me with 4, and then I'm going to do lightning attack, I think. That'll leave me with 1 stunt point remaining.
Pierce on both?
Yeah, if I can spend that 1 to pierce on the second attack, I will. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know what your rule on that is. Okay.
All right. So
then,
what do you want to spend your stun points on?
So pierce armor, and then is 1, and then 3 more points for lightning attack, so I can make a second attack, and then pierce armor on the second attack. For
as
a total
long
of
as you
5.
have the points, you can do it.
All right, perfect. So let me go ahead and roll damage for that. Is 17 points of damage with the first attack. It's a 17 to hit on the second attack, so that hits. So we're going to do another 1d6 plus 13 is 15 more points of damage. Both of them pierce.
Okay. All right, you nearly reduce this thing's hit points by half, just with your 2 attacks.
God damn.
Yes, so it's still up. It is not happy. It's real mad. Jurgen, your turn.
My turn. Okay. I'm hurting. I'm in pain. I'm going to move. No. Yes. No. I'm gonna move here, behind Garrett.
Okay.
And then I'm going to heal myself.
Okay.
So I need to make my cunning roll. Add +7. 3d6 +7. Succeeds. And my dragon die was a 3. Yeah, not the best, but not terrible. Which means I heal 3 times 3, which is 9, plus my cunning, which is 5, so 14. So I heal 14, so I've only taken 4 damage now. Perfect! Awesome, I feel much better after I rub some dirt into the bruises that I've accumulated from this arcane horror.
Awesome.
See, the
Okay,
dirt is like a
Garrett.
grout that you use to scrape away the pain.
So what I'm really getting is that we're all just constructs.
Yes.
Okay, I that makes more sense now.
All right, Garrick. Speaking of, it is your turn.
Okay, so Garrick's going to do something that he's forgotten this entire time, and even though it might not matter, I'm going to activate my Guardian ability on Jurgen.
Okay.
So
Yay.
for everyone who hasn't read the book, it basically means that whenever something hits Jurgen, I kind of stand in the way and take a couple points of damage. Because I'm medium. He's not. And then I'm going to attack that last hench corpse. Because that's how I've been writing it down in the notes.
Go ahead and roll for attack, please.
17.
That will hit.
No stunt points or anything, so just straight damage. And that's 20.
20 damage.
20 damage.
God. dang.
Ouch.
I love
Alright.
having telekinetic weapon because it makes my large amount of strength modifier even larger.
Telekinetic weapon is fucking clutch.
It really is.
Okay.
What?
You whap into it. It is still up. Pietra is going to take her shot at it. Wow, that will hit without even having to add in her bonuses. Okay. No doubles. Okay, so she does an amount of damage. Still keeping it up. It gets to attack now. So it will attack Garrick again. Wow. Wow. Fuck you, roll 20.
As the player, I feel bad.
No, it sucks. Rayleth, it is your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll keep it rolling. Why mess with something that's working, right?
Indeed.
It's a 15 to hit
That'll hit.
for 15 points of damage.
Okay.
No
Rayleth,
pierce,
you get
sadly,
the...
but
Okay, so you get the killing blow on this thing. So again, you just slam into it with your quarterstaff and render this poor mortal shell incapable of housing whatever malign spirit was called into it.
He had a scimitar.
rapier.
A rapier.
Rapier.
I
Rapier,
listen to
okay.
you, Ben.
I knew it wasn't
I-
a stick.
It's
All right,
it's
I
okay.
apologize.
I understand. Like wizard, you just assume they're hitting somebody with a staff, so it's cool.
To be fair, a rapier is just a metal stick with a point and two sharp edges.
No, only
True.
one sharp edge.
No, rapiers they're double edged, aren't they?
Rapiers are pointy.
Right.
It
and-
depends. It depends on the style, actually. Some of them are they're all pointy. Some of them have a full edge on one edge, and then they've got like a half edge, like half down the length. Others are not pointy. Others are pointy.
I
or
always
sharp
just
down the whole
picture them
way.
as fencing rapiers.
So
There,
you know what?
there are
I
a
will.
lot of different styles.
You could
Sorry.
narrate exactly how Raylith uses the rapier, because you clearly know more than I do.
Rachel, this is a rapier podcast now, just so you know.
Whoops.
I imagine it's not terribly flashy. Rayleth isn't that kind of person. He'll step in and he'll do probably a pretty textbook style like lunge and just drive it all the way up to the hilt, and kind of stay there for a second because he ensures that the thing is actually going to like fall and stop moving, and then he'll recover and sheath his weapon.
Okay, excellent. So, you deliver the final killing blow of these monsters who are menacing you and all the other wardens and mages. And so, you find yourself in the middle of this room full of, again, bodies in varied states of decay and decomposition. And you see in front of you There's a giant stone. It's not really a door because it's clearly not meant to be opened, but it definitely has sigils carved into it and also specifically channels. And those, so all of you who are wardens can hear the very pronounced hum. It feels like there is something just short of an archdemon on the other side of this stone seal, essentially. Uh, and all of you who are wardens also still hear the begging and the bargaining. Let me out and I will make all of your dreams come true. And you, in the back of your mind, all of you have visions of yourself as powerful. Garrick is leading armies. Raylath, you are alternatively at ruling an elven settlement or leading mages into battle. And Jurgen, you have the promise of becoming whole. So if any of you want to take up this entity on that bargain, message me. Otherwise,
Immediately look to Harold. It's lying to you.
Harold definitely looks tempted, but even he understands the stakes here and what is at issue. Um, and Harold is used to powerful creatures lying to him for their own personal gain. And so, those of you who are mages, Jurgen accepted, can sense what? You made a tranquil, man. This is on you.
I did.
You can sense the energies of the Fade flowing through here, and so all the three blood mages that you have recruited, uh, so Pietra and Kennard and Lavrenti, they all three approach, and they see clearly, okay, here's the carved channel where the blood is supposed to go, and then they look to you, Wardens, and like, what do we do now? Just blood magic?
I'm going to look over at Garrick to see if he has anything to add, since he was the one who knew about the ritual in the first place. And
Garrick
if
is
you,
going
okay,
to look over at you and say, do you see any instructions? Quietly.
fair enough. I am going to take the time to see if I can figure out the way to properly conduct this ritual. Having assumed that one of them or the commander would have an idea, or they would either have an idea how to do this, or there would be instructions left here. I'm hoping it's the last one, because the first two don't seem to be the case.
Because other than
All
that,
right.
Garrick's idea is put blood in it and magic and see if you can make sure you strengthen it.
Go
Fair.
ahead and give me a magic roll, please, Rayla.
Yay, I'm
This
kind
is
of
going
good
to
at
be
that.
pretty easy, so it's only going to be a 13.
Okay. And I'm guessing spirit magic does not play into this.
Actually, it does.
Ooh. 20.
Excellent, well done. All right, so as you study this and you study sort of the magical residues left over that you can still sense and everything else going on, you realize Garrick's actually pretty correct on his assumption. This is just like a raw brute force. Blood goes in the channel, magic goes into the stone, and it's essentially like putting ink into a printer. You're not having to build the printer. Someone else already did that for you. You're just refreshing the ink cartridges.
All right. Does it look like it needs to be added to certain spots in this?
Not
I don't know.
necessarily. Once the initial ritual is completed, you sort of see how the power will dissipate. Or not dissipate, but diffuse through the
Okay.
structure, through the prison. So, at this point, Rayleth, please roll for Pietra.
Okay.
Jurgen, please roll for Kennard. And Garrett, please roll for Lavrenti. You each have a +3 from your magic. Don't fuck it up.
13 for Pietra.
Okay.
16.
14.
Okay, so nobody completely humiliated themselves. And so the wardens, what you see is this group of blood mages sort of puzzle out how to do this, and they work out, yes, okay, we just need to empower this. And like they keep looking over at you like, is this okay? And yeah. Right? All sort of cut into each other a little nervously, let their blood fall into the channels below. They do very strange magic things that only Rayleth sort of understands what's going on. Uh, but you all know that it worked when that tempting voice in the back of your head shuts the fuck up. So there's still that hum there, that presence that you can sense, but it is no longer capable of communicating with you at all. So kind of terrifying implications for what happens when the next time the seals wear down, but you know, that's a 200 years in the future problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You have successfully re-imprisoned the Archdemon Corypheus for another 200 years. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay! Who
We
made an
did it,
agreement?
guys!
Who made an agreement with it?
I mean, I wasn't typing for no reason, you know. No.
I mean, that's all between you and the Keeper.
I will. I'm going to spend time double checking the 3 mages that assisted us, making sure there aren't any weird lingering magical effects on them or anything like that. Also, I continually forget that I have this. I have, because one of my like talents, I forget the different categories of things. I've specialized in spirit magic, and I can sense the emotion of one creature within 6 yards. So I would like to do that on each of them in turn to see whether or not they are like acting cagey or really freaked out or anything that would be suspicious.
Okay. Pietra is eager. She's about to become a Grey Warden. She's really looking forward to that and what it means for her life. Lavrenti is greedy. Not necessarily greedy, more like avaricious. She's here to get paid. And you can sense that she's making mental notes on both Pietra and Kennard, like, in case she ever needs to blackmail them in the future. Kennard is both nervous and relieved. Like, he did the thing, he got what he wanted, he's still unsure what the consequences might be.
Okay. Wardens are allowed to be blood mages without it being an issue, correct?
Yes, that is true.
Okay. All right. So then Pietra doesn't have much
sort
to
of-
worry about but Kennard might be... Things might get awkward for Kennard.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have that conversation with him when Lavrenti is not sitting around.
Okay. Sure. On the way back to Kirkwall, you absolutely can have a couple moments by the campfire with Kennard, where he's taking care of his ex-boyfriend, current boyfriend. He's tranquil, so, you know, that's weird.
So what do you plan to do next, now that you... we have his,
Phylacteries, yes.
Yeah, his reliquary, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, reliquary.
So, what are you going to do now that you're essentially free of the tower and can make your own choices going forward? Keeping in mind that there's at least one person who does not have your best interests in mind that knows what you're capable of.
So he sort of looks around. He looks to Baylor, the Tranquil. Says, well, I suppose that depends on what you want to do with that bit of blood of mine that you have.
I'd toss it to him.
You startle the fuck out of him, but he manages to catch it and, like, looks down at it and, like, looks back up at you and, like, says, this is real?
Presumably, unless they pulled one over on us when we were there.
And so he looks to Baylor like he'd ask Baylor what Baylor wants, but Baylor, Tranquil, has no desires beyond the most immediate. And so what Kennard does is he drops the reliquary to the ground and then just crushes it under his boot. Then brushes some leaves and dirt over it. And says, well, I understand you're moving a number of refugees to Ferelden.
That's the plan, yes.
I suppose I might see if I can find two berths on those ships. I won't tell anyone what happened here ever. You have my word.
Neither will we, but... Well, I'll gesture towards Lavrenti and say, that won't necessarily be the case for everyone. So, I recommend, if possible, that you and Baylor sneak away in the night. If need be, I can distract her. And we'll simply tell her that you vanished. You escaped. And if you can meet back up with us in Kirkwall, then I'll make sure you get on one of the ships.
I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but you've shown true kindness, and I thank you. And if you want to learn the principles, I mean...
Say again?
An exchange. I don't mean anything by it. I don't mean to be
Oh,
insulting. I understand the principles, and I know that it's permissible for your order if you wanted to learn. Only if.
I appreciate that, but it's not in the cards for me. I don't like the sight of my own blood. But obviously one of the other options is that you could join the order yourself, and then you don't have to worry about it. But that's, again, a matter of choice, so.
I'm meant to be a village mage, I think. I'm not suited for the front lines.
Well then, I'm going to arrange with him, like, presuming Lavrenti is not around to hear this, I'm going to arrange with him, like, somewhere inconspicuous to meet up with me back at Kirkwall in, like, 2 days' time or something like that, so I can basically, like, get him into the city, get him onto a ship under cover of like some sort of disguise or something.
Sure, and with Harrowwind helping, you absolutely managed to save these two
Oh,
mages.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
So, you have successfully refreshed the wards on Corypheus's prison. Congratulations.
Hell yeah.
You have also held the Viscountess to her word because you're doing this complicated shell game with refugees, but the main point is this frees up the resources and manpower that you will need. So, congratulations, you have completed the Kirkwall level. Everybody take a
Yay.
level.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
Yay!
And so,
Nothing better than leveling up.
indeed. So, you don't have to decide this right now. You can wait until Brody is available to discuss, but your quest log. You have convinced the leaders of the Free Marches. So, you have 2 more quests left to draw on the strength of Tevinter to convince them to help. Your point of contact for this is the leader of the Elven Rebellion in Tevinter. And then go visit the capital of the Orlesian Empire and engage in some high politics to get them. So what you decide now is, well, so it's not necessarily imperative that you decide now, just, by next Monday so I can write the damn script.
I'm gonna say we should do the Orlesian high politics because let's face it, we're probably going to have too much fun completely and utterly trying to decimate Tevinter.
Yeah.
I agree.
Tevinter
I agree
seems
on
like,
Orlesia.
Yeah, Tevinter seems like
Penultimate quest.
a culmination of things. Yeah.
Plus
Raylac has a romantic entanglement in Orlais, so he wants to go kind of check in on that. So.
Aww.
Okay, message me to remind me of that, and so I will write that into the next script. I will also write up a whole lot of chaos for Harold Wynn to do, because I know he's going to love the chance to do that. And so, I know it's a little bit early, but we're also down a player. So, we are just going to wrap up now. And so if we just want to do one more quick who you are and when we can see your face next, in the normal order, go.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve. My pronouns are he, him. The next time that you will see me will be on this channel on Friday, where I will be playing Cassius, the only good detective in the Blade Runner game.
Hello all, I am Devin. You can find me on online at Sword of Sullied, and the next time you'll see me is here on Monday. I don't think next week, because next week is when you guys are gone.
That is true. Next week I'm going to be on an airplane.
Yes, so you can find me in 2 weeks on this channel, on this night.
That's good to know. I wasn't aware that we were skipping next week, so I'm glad I caught that. Hi
yes,
everybody.
Steve and I are going to be in Vermont.
Oh, that's right. Okay, he mentioned that. I just
conceivably run, but I will have boarded the airplane at 5 a.m. California time, so I'm just going to be a little ball of misery and
But
exhausted.
that's 8 o'clock.
Just enjoy your trip. It's all good. I'm Ben Ravensdale. I've been playing Raylath, and you can find me here in about an hour and a half. I'll be playing some D&D Curse of Strahd on this channel with a few other people. You can also find me on Thursdays on this channel where I do BattleTech stuff. I think this Thursday I'm doing some Alpha Strike because the rest of the players are not available on this Thursday. So, yeah. That's where you can find me.
All right, yes. I have been the Game Runner. My name is Rachel. You can Yes, next up will be Curse of Strahd, airing in about an hour and a half. That should be a lot of fun. I believe you're nearing the end of the module, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, confrontation with Strahd should be happening soon. That should be a lot of fun. If you want more Dragon Age content, come by here on Wednesdays when I stream Inquisition. Ben does his Battletech show on Thursdays, and then yeah, Friday, will be Blade Runner. Our friend Leo will be off paternity leave, so we're gonna have a full cast. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Should be a lot of fun. We will see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.